welcome everyone to this nice little guide tutorial on how to get Sentinel ships. I've seen some videos and I've been kind of confused on how they go because sometimes there's just key information missing on how to get these beautiful babies. But today I'm going to go through and I'm going to explain how to get these, where to find them, and easier ways to find them and get them going. So let's get in, let's get to it. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you want to go into space. You want to go in the galaxy map. When you go in the galaxy map, the first thing you need to do is look for a system that is definite. I have one already pinned, but what you look for is nicely right there inside of the system information where it has 122 light years GO, and as well as it's got definite. Go ahead and warp into that system. Once you arrive in said system, what you need to do now is you need to look for the Destinate's world. It'll either be with corrupted sentinels or it'll have Destinates detected. You do not want to look for any high sentinel activity, and you don't want to look for any aggressive sentinels. It'll be a purple description. As you can see right there, this planet, SVAG 5, has Destinates detected. Now once you make your way to the Destinate world that you have acquired, there are a few methods of going about finding said Sentinel ship. But we'll start off with the basics on what you're going to need and what you're going to have to find on said world. So the first thing you're going to have to find are these shards. Not the ones with the Sentinels in it, but these radiant shards. What you're going to have to do is you're going to need 3 of them, so you're going to might as well harvest up a lot. Considering that these radiant shards are not only used to acquire those ships, but as well as for the hyperdrive that is within them. So you can have a nice little extra way of fueling them up in case you gather too many of those radiant shards. Next, you'll have to find these guys. You'll have to find some Destinates resonators, and they will have sentinels around them. You'll only need 1 of these inverted mirrors that we're going to need. Each one of these has a chance of giving that, and as well as something called the Echolocator. Echolocator will be another thing that we look at in a short minute, but we're going to go ahead and do the first way of finding a Sentinel ship. Alright, so since we need the inverted mirror, we'll go ahead and take this guy out. Alright, so we got the inverted mirror. Now, first way of finding a Sentinel ship. These guys are already after me, so I'll go ahead and just start attacking them. The first method on finding a Sentinel ship is to take out full level 5 of the assault from these Sentinels. Alright, once you get to the 5th wave of these corrupted Sentinels, now all you have to do is kill them all and survive. I will recommend things like the Paralysis Mortar to stop all these Sentinels in their tracks, and as well as stop the drones from trying to heal any damage that's been done. And once you take out the last Sentinel, if there is a Sentinel ship on your planet, after taking out the final wave, you should get a ping. This ping will register as a Destinates spike. Once that Destinates spike is detected, that will be your Sentinel ship. So we'll go ahead and fly over there and see what kind of Sentinel ship we have on this world. And there she is. I should notate that also one of the other resources you're going to need is Atlantium, which will be needed to help clear out some things and as well as help you a little bit further. Once you walk up to the ship, go ahead and access the inventory. And as you can see here, here is the name of the ship and as well as the class of what ship you get. This one is a class B called the Atlas Fire. Go ahead and claim that salvage glass, that pugnium. And the one thing we have to notate here is the Heline brain. You'll take this and you'll put it in your inventory, and it'll ask you down at the bottom right that it rejects the control of an outside entity and a harmonic brain is required. We have to go in our inventory and probe the brain. Basically all you got to do is go in your inventory and use the probe subconscious. This will point you in the way of a ruin, which you'll take that said Heline brain over and convert it to a harmonic brain. Once we arrive at the ruins, all you have to do is head up to the placard here, go ahead and access it, and it'll go ahead and stir because of the Heline brain you have. It'll go over some dialogue, but all you have to do is present the brain. It'll basically cleanse out the impurities in it, and then boom, you now have a harmonic brain to present to your ship. You also can collect some warrants here every time you try to go after one of these ships. So head on back over to your Sentinel ship and present the Heline, or the harmonic brain, I should say, to the ship. Because all we have to do is go to the pilot interface, have our 3 radiant shards, our inverted mirror, and the harmonic brain. Once you do that, you are able to collect your ship. And welcome to your new Sentinel ship. These things do look aesthetically pleasing, and as well as when they take off, they do have a nice little way of shaping up. Inside of their inventory will actually be some different things, unlike your usual ships you fly around in. The launch thruster will be named the anti-gravity well, your pulse engine will be the luminance engine, your hyperdrive will be called the crimson core, your shield technology will be the Arion shield, as well as your phase cannon will no longer be phase cannon, it'll be the Sentinel cannon. You can put any upgrades for pulse engines, for launch thrusters, and for your phase, or for your photon cannons on all these. They do work the same way, they do apply the same benefits, so don't worry about having to try to find upgrades for these. It is all the same. But let's talk about a different method on trying to find said Sentinel ships. Let's say you don't want to have to fight through the whole waves of all those corrupt Sentinels. Well, what else can you do? Well, you can go ahead and try to find some more Desonance Resonators to get a special item that will actually help narrow it down a lot faster. So once you find the Desonance Resonator, all you got to do is hope that once you kill it, you get something interesting out of it. What we're hoping to get is an item that is rare from them. Not just the inverted mirror, but we're looking for something called an Echolocator. It'll look something like this. So especially since you're going to want some inverted mirrors to take on and get down into your Sentinel ship, we're going to want to go ahead and harvest as many of those as we can, so that way we may get one of those. It takes a while to collect these, but I was finding a whole bunch of resonators, so that's how I got a bunch of these. So what you're going to do is pop it like any sort of map chart that you have in your inventory, and it'll go ahead and ping out something new called Harmonic Echo. There is something unique about the Harmonic Echo. So once you use one of those to find a Harmonic Echo, you're going to want to land at the site. These sites contain very great, valuable resources that you might consider trying to find a lot of these echolocators for. Around this whole settlement is going to be these harmonic scraps. Go ahead and grab those because you'll get a lot of good things, especially some augmentations like multi-tool and ship upgrades to have more space. As you can see, I got a storage ship and a multi-tool upgrade just from this one site. So you can go ahead and try to gather as many of these as you can to see what you can get. As well as they do have their own multi-tools here. What you really want to pay attention to is this harmonic interface at the back of the camp. What you want to go ahead and do is access it. Main thing you want to do is scan the memory, and then just a small amount of math is needed. What you're going to do is take those numbers and go straight down the line. Each one is different. You'll take that and you'll use these to go ahead and break down the lockdown. Each of the number it gives you represents a glyph. For example, we go to this first slot. Again, you can put them in however you like, but it has to be the right 3 numbers. So, first one was 12, so we go ahead and put in a 12. Next one was a 2, so we'll use glyph 2. Last but not least was 7, so we take glyph number 7. That'll break down the lockdown, and it'll allow you to deactivate the multi-tool seal and locate the designated spike. We will go ahead and ping out the spike. And each one of these echolocators will bring you to a harmonic echo that will point you to a ship. We can also go ahead and take this harmonic interface and we go ahead and break that seal down, which gives you access to a Sentinel weapon. And as I said, the Radiant Shards, Alt Stadium, and the inverted mirrors are very important, as you will need inverted mirrors for some of these things inside the weapon, as well as you will need crystallized hearts from the waves that you clear from the big walkers. It'll be the same as before. You'll go ahead and you'll head over to the Desert Spike, and there will be the same kind of Sentinel ship, as I will demonstrate. So as we land here, we go ahead and see a ship, but we'll sit there and say to ourselves, but wait a minute, we already got this ship. And as far as to my knowledge goes, the first Sentinel ship you find is going to kind of reflect the Sentinel ships that you will find on that planet. Meaning you get one, that is what it's going to look like. However, the grade and class can change from each encounter you find. Now, let's say you look at that ship and you're like, I do not want that ship. That ship is not for me, but you constantly have something pinging in your quest. Simply just go over to your logs and abandon the mission, and you will no longer have it pinging for you. Now, you may be asking yourself, well, I want something that's a little more fun and has a lot more to do with my ship, but also allows me to get one of those. How do I get it? Well, let's just go ahead and start getting the attention of these guys. You kind of want to thrill the fight, so what you're going to do is get back in your ship, and you're going to want to take the fight to space. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to do the same thing all over again, where you cleared the multiple waves. This time you're going to want to get through all 5 waves, and then there will be something special at the 5th wave. Once you get to wave 5, this is where the real fun kicks in. Now you'll have to take out the Sentinel capital ship. So main thing is, all you got to do is take down the shields in order to really start whamming down on this baby. Unfortunately, if you do go this route, it appears that you will lose standing with the faction that is in charge of the system. So the Corvex are currently not enjoying my company now. And now we defeated the capital ship and the Sentinel forces are retreating. Now we did get this carrier AI fragment, so we are going to go ahead and use this, which then gives us a designated spike. We go from said fight straight down over to the spike again, and there is your 3rd way of getting a Sentinel ship. Each way has its own uniqueness to it, whether it be fighting the corrupted Sentinels all the way up to the final wave to getting your spike, fighting a nice little capital cruiser to get a fragment to get your spike, or to kill as many of those designates resonators as locate harmonic echoes that will also give you a multi-tool and a nice Sentinel ship. So I hope this helped. Again, I'm not the best at doing this stuff, but I do want to try to help out as any way as I can in regards of how to get certain things, especially if people are struggling to find them, get them, or find any sort of things in between that was not explained to them. So I hope you all are able to find your lovely Sentinel ship that you've been dying to get a hold of, and as well as I can't wait to see how many different Sentinel ships that I can find along my journey. So thank you all so much for watching. Appreciate y'all being here. Remember to stay safe, fly safe, and see you all next time.